just as we are starting to come to grips with the devastation that COVID-19 is causing, the media reports of another swine flu strain that has the potential to become a global pandemic. Shouldn't you be worried about this? Hey guys, dogtorpete here. I'm a veterinarian from South Africa, and in this video I'm going to give you a quick update on the newly discovered swine flu virus and what its potential consequences could be for the world. Alright, let's jump right into it. A recent study that was published in the US Science Journal reports of a new swine flu strain that was discovered in China. This strain is genetically descended from the H1N1 virus that caused the pandemic in 2009, which basically means that the virus's genes mixed into new combinations over time to ultimately create a new influenza strain called the G4 virus. Now, since 2011, authorities and scientists stepped up surveillance programs in pig populations in order to watch out for viruses that has pandemic potential. And by 2018, scientists were able to isolate over 30,000 nasal swabs from pigs in slaughterhouses in 10 Chinese provinces, as well as one veterinary hospital, isolating 179 swine flu viruses. This specific G4 strain has been dominating in pig populations since 2016, and it has been reported that over 10% of workers that came into direct contact with the pigs became infected. There is no evidence as of yet of human-to-human transmission, but scientists are concerned that the virus might mutate, which will potentially allow it to be transmitted from person to person, which in essence will trigger another global pandemic. What is even more concerning is that the pre-existing population immunity caused by previous vaccination against the common flu virus does not provide any protection against the G4 strain, as its core component is an avian influenza virus to which humans have no immunity to. Studies performed on ferrets revealed that the G4 strain caused much more serious symptoms than any other flu viruses. The G4 strain was observed to be highly infectious to replicating in the cells that line the respiratory system in humans. And when infected, its symptoms include fever, lethargy, lack of appetite, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, sore throat, and a runny nose. Now, in order to predict the potential impact this virus can have on the world in the future, we need to look back into the lessons learned in the past. According to the CDC, the H1N1 swine flu pandemic in 2009, which was the last pandemic before COVID-19, infected over 1 billion and killed an estimated 150,000 to 570,000 people around the world. Researchers confirmed that the H1N1 influenza virus in 2009 contained virus genes that originated from 4 different influenza virus sources, including gene segments from human, North American avian, and North American, Asian, and European swine influenza viruses. This aggressive mutated virus originated in pigs and was able to jump over to humans, which we refer to as being a zoonotic disease. The first human-infected case was reported in California in April 2009, and within 2 weeks, the WHO reported this disease a public health emergency, which later on became a global pandemic in June 2009 due to its rapid spread across the world. The symptoms of the H1N1 virus was very similar to the G4 strain and COVID-19, and often progressed towards more serious respiratory complications, such as fatal pneumonia. It spread in very similar fashion as COVID-19, which is by means of respiratory droplets and direct contact with infected surfaces. In contrast with COVID-19, its aerosols, which are basically tiny virus particles that hovers in the air when people cough, sneeze, or even breathe, does not drop to the floor immediately, as with COVID-19. This means that the infectious particles were much easier transmitted over longer distances in the air. What is also interesting to note with the H1N1 swine flu in 2009 is that over 80% of the virus-related deaths were estimated to have occurred in people younger than the age of 65, which differs greatly from the typical seasonal influenza epidemics, which you expect to find that 80% of the virus-related deaths should occur in people 65 years and older. One possible explanation for the pre-existing antibodies in older adults is due to the fact that they may have had previous exposure, either through vaccination or infection, to a H1N1 virus, which helped them to build up an adequate immunity. Swine and avian flus are quite common in Asia, and this is largely due to poor hygiene standards, overpopulation of intensive farm animals, and the inclusion of steroids and hormones in the animals' feed, which can contribute to a compromised immune system and therefore the potential for viruses to spread. Border protection is absolutely crucial in preventing the spread of these viruses, and as such, many countries have implemented strict import regulations where all products must undergo 100% inspection before being registered with customs and sent to cold storage and markets. However, there are often instances of smuggled meat products that does not go through the quarantine inspection before being installed in the markets, and that is where the risk of transmission lies. Flu pandemics are held to be one of the greatest threats to national health security. Now, although the G4 strain is capable of infecting humans, there is no evidence of human-to-human transmission as of 30 June 2020, which means that it does not pose any immediate global health threat. This does, however, serve as a salutary reminder that we are constantly at risk of the new emergence of zoonotic pathogens, and that farm animals, with which we have much more contact with than wildlife, may act as a source for important pandemic viruses. Only through the collaborative efforts of both veterinarians and medical doctors can we contain and prevent these potential zoonotic disasters from ripping through the world. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button and share this video with your friends and family if you found the information to be useful. I also made another video where I explain the truth behind COVID-19 and your pets, and I will link that in the description and put it in the info cards. And if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing, as I'll be posting new videos on interesting pet related topics every week. As always, have a lekker day, and I'll see you in another video next week. Cheers!